Righteousness pays. It pays to be righteous. It pays to be godly. It's not just a religious thing. It's not just a religious thing. It's a life thing. When you're godly, you're living life. You're going on a path of life. When you're righteous, you're on the right path of life. That's what the word says. And we're here in verse 17 of Proverbs chapter 10. It says, he who keeps instruction is in the way of life. The way of life is to keep instruction. To keep instruction is the way of righteousness, right? When you're righteous, you're keeping the way of life, right? So if you want a way of life, whatever area of where you find yourself, you want life. Jesus says, John 10:10, the thief cometh but to steal, to kill, and to destroy. The thief cometh to take you off the way of life. But I am come to keep you in the way of life, to give you life and life more abundantly. And the strategy to get that is by living life, living religiously. I mean, living righteously. It's by living godly, right? It's by following instruction. It's by following instruction. So that's the New King James Version says that he who keeps instruction is in the way of life, but he who refuses correction goes astray. Right? Proverbs Amplified Version says, he who learns from instruction and correction is on the right path of life. And for those, his example is a path towards wisdom and blessing. But he who ignores and refuses correction goes off course. And for others, his example is a path towards sin and ruin. His English Bible says, people who listen when people want them are on the road of life, but those who refuse to listen are on a different road. So righteousness, godliness includes listening to instruction. Listening to instruction. And the other morning I was talking about the importance of other people's experience. And that's what the Bible is about, right? The whole of the Bible is talking about other people's experience, people that have experienced God, those that have been on the right side of God, those that have been on the wrong side of God, teaches us how to relate with God by other people's example and experience. We'll learn from Adam how Adam missed it. We'll learn from Eve how Eve missed it. We'll learn from Abel how Abel got it right. We'll learn from Cain how Cain missed it. We'll learn from Abraham how Abraham became the friend of God. We'll learn about from Noah how Noah found favor with God. We'll learn from people's experience how they lived their life, how God approved of them, and the ones God disapproved and why. Right? That is what it means to be righteous, is to learn from these examples and not to disregard them. Not to say, oh, David was in another dispensation, I'm better than David. Don't think of yourself more highly than you ought to. Think of yourself according to a right understanding. According to the grace of God that's upon your life. You're human at best. You're human at best. Meaning that those that have gone before us, the examples we have in the Bible, are men of like passions as you are. If they could miss it, you also can miss it. If they could do it right, you also can do it right. We are surrounded by a host of witnesses to learn from them. To learn from them, not to think of ourselves better or less than them. They are men of like passion as we are. If they could make it, we too can make it. If they could miss it, we too can miss it. It means that we'll learn from their good example to make it. We'll learn from their bad examples not to miss it. But to disregard their experience is foolishness. It's of the devil. It's not righteousness. It's wickedness. It's ungodly to disregard their example. That's why God told Joshua, says, hey, don't let this word depart from you. Don't let these examples depart from you. Don't let this picture depart from you. Don't let this scene, this visualization depart from you. But you meditate on it day and night. You see that picture. You see the picture of someone that makes it. You see the picture of someone that missed it, and try to learn from the example of those that made it and stay away from the example of those that did not make it. It's a way to win it and to win in life. None of us comes here with knowing how to live. We'll learn when we get here. And the examples of those ahead of us is what guides us in the way of life. That's how we understand the way of life and the way of death, by the examples of those that have gone before us. They are our light. They are the lamp on our foot. They are the light upon our pathway to guide us in the way that is right. There's a way that seemeth right, but the end thereof is the way of death. The way of death looks right. The only way we differentiate is by the word of God, is by the experience of those that have gone ahead of us. That's how we make it in life. Righteousness pays, godliness pays. Godliness is profitable in all things. Righteousness will put you head and shoulder above every other person. Righteousness is a strategy to win in life. Godliness is a strategy to win in life. Don't disregard it. There's reward for your righteousness. There's reward for godliness. Claim it in Jesus' name.